All right, joining me now on Inside the Tournament, played with La Familia last year in TBT. Nate Sestina, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You guys went on an incredible ride last year, came up a little short. We'll get into that briefly later. I want to start, obviously, with all of TBT for you, but we got to jump into that Louisville game right away. One of the most electric atmospheres ever. How just fun was that for you?
It like when you think of college basketball, like some of the best rivalries, like Kentucky Louisville is one of them, and the fact that we got to do it again, pretty much everybody as pros in the middle of the summer in Kentucky at on a Monday at like 9 p.m. and sold out 15,000 people, 13,000 people, whatever it was. It's just like it doesn't get any better. You couldn't have written it up any better for the TBT, for Kentucky as a state, and for us as a university.
Were you surprised from the buy-in from the university and the fans from, that first game and on?
I can't even say yes because like Kentucky fans are crazy and Louisville fans are crazy as well. But like I was, I will say I didn't expect the first turnout that we had. I can't remember we played. Who did we play the first game
It's like the
in?
the Knopf, I think.
Yeah, like there were 6 or 7 thousand people, and then the next game it was like eight, and the next game it's like 10, and it's just like stacking. And I'm like, dude, this is. But as a state, Kentucky loves basketball, and like there's only two like big universities there. Like this is what they can like thoroughly enjoy, and it was just awesome that we got to play it rough. Like there's nothing better, really.
I actually think it was the 305 Ballers in that first game, if
That's who
I'm
the first one
remembering
was.
correctly. Yeah.
Yep,
So you got to
305 and enough.
you got to play with some Kentucky legends in Willie Cauley-Stein, Harrison Twins, Bledsoe. Who was your favorite guy to share the court with during that run?
Oh wow. Um, that's a dude. It's a tough one. I got to get really close with Willie off the court, and to be with him on the court, like he's just. I say it all the time, and I said before, like he's a real unicorn. He's 7 feet, can shoot threes, runs the court, blocks shots, rebounds, does everything. Can really push the ball in transition. Like it was really cool to see that, but also to not be on the receiving end of the Harrison twins. I've played them as pros, and they've gotten the best of me a couple times, and it was nice to be on the same team as them. And obviously, growing up watching Eric Bledsoe, like it was cool to be in the same presence as him too, because I was like, man, I think I was in like seventh grade when he was at Kentucky, so I'm like, man, I really got to like really watch you when I was young. Um, and then Karam Cantor too. I know he didn't go to Kentucky, but man, he put on an absolute show.
So you didn't get to play in March Madness with Kentucky. Did
Breaks my
this
heart.
feel like a little bit of a tournament run that you were missing with these colors?
I think so. I think it was the perfect blend of like what I missed out on as a Kentucky Wildcat and missing the tournament with COVID, but it was exactly what I needed after the season that we had had. It just extended the season that I had had as a professional over in Fenerbahce, and like you came in, you got to win a bunch of games and have a bunch of like rah rah from the crowd and all that, and just an awesome exclamation point to my summer coming into this season.
Where are you at right now? Update the fans. What's
I'm
life
over.
like?
I'm over in Valencia in Spain. We just started Euro Cup. We're 3-0 in Euro Cup. We're 1-1 in the ACB in Spain, which is like their domestic league. I haven't been playing well these last couple games. It's been driving me nuts, just overthinking and totally not what I was doing in the TBT. So I just got to kind of get back to that and just trust my stuff and know that it is a game. Basketball is a game, but it's also I'm a human and I don't always have the best game. So just adjusting to that and picking it up and being there for my teammates.
I got to ask you this. So, unfortunately, you were not able to attend the semifinal game. Did
Yeah,
you watch the game?
yeah, I did. And I was nothing I can say or do is gonna bring back the fact that I couldn't be there, but I did watch it, and I was actually going to miss out on the back end of my obligation that I had I had it planned essentially before I started the TBT and joined it. I was going to miss the back end of it to get to Philly, and it's like I said, I know it's not gonna mean anything to anybody, but like that's really like it. I couldn't do anything. It was something that I had planned a year in advance, and like I couldn't miss out on it. It was an obligation, and it's unfortunate that it came at the time that we were really rolling, and we just come off a big win, and I was, yeah.
You know what it makes me think? It makes me think it's going to be that much sweeter when you're holding TBT 2025 trophy and you say, I missed the game last year, but here we are. I'm TBT MVP. We did it. So I think bright things are ahead for La Familia.
I do too. I do too. I'm getting married this summer, so I'm not sure about my TBT commitment. I don't want to commit to something if I know I'm not going to be there again. But if possible, and I can make it work, for sure, I would love to play. Like I said, I'm getting married, so that's a big commitment, and my current fiance, I cannot miss that day. So that's
I'm getting married in March. I don't think I can miss the day either. And we're honeymooning during March Madness, so might have to have the
you're gonna
games
be on
on.
the yeah.
So go ahead.
Sorry,
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that just knowing these guys and how hungry they are and how much basketball means to them. I know if I can't play, I know that they're gonna put together another great team and go out and get it done.
So unrelated to basketball, you've got to travel the world, I guess, because of basketball. Honeymoon, where have you not been? Where are you gonna go?
Oh man, so the you call it a mini moon, I guess. That's what my fiance Madison's been calling it. We're gonna go to Cabo like right after we get married for a couple days, and then the summer after, so in 2026 after my season, we're gonna go to Lake Como in Italy.
Oh wow. Have you been there?
I've never been there.
So we have our soccer tournament also, and we have a team. Como is in the soccer tournament. They're Como 1907, and they are awesome. And I mean, we've seen the pictures. The stadium there is insane. That's on my bucket list for sure. Is like,
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can bring my golf clubs, squeeze in 18 holes on one of the days. I don't know what's in store. I know there's gonna be a lot of good food and a lot of good wine.
who are some of the notable players you've played against in your pro career?
Man, I got to play against, but I also got to play with Scotty Wilbekin, Nigel Hayes Davis, who actually set the EuroLeague record last year for points in a game with 50. And for anybody who knows European basketball, scoring 50 points in a game is like scoring 90 in the NBA. Like, it's very difficult to score. Mike James has obviously made an amazing career for himself. He's the EuroLeague all-time leading scorer, and he's still going. So I got to play against Mike. Nick Kalathis was our point guard last year. He's a European legend. Unfortunately, he's a Florida Gator. He and Scotty, they're two of my, very, very good friends. But I did let them know that we beat Florida my last game of my college career. But they also said that they got the best of Kentucky in their time. Who else? Bonzie Colson, Notre Dame legend. Jarian Grant, Notre Dame legend. He was my teammate actually. Tyreek Jones, right up the street at Xavier. He's one of my best friends now. He's playing for Partizan over in Belgrade in Serbia right now. But
Did you play Wemby any of the last few years?
no, I missed him by a year. So he was in Metropolitans the year that I was in Turk Telecom, and I think they played either Champions League or FIBA Europe Cup, and we were Euro Cup. So I had just missed him by a year because the year before he was in Asvel. So he was playing EuroLeague that year. He was like 16. It's just it's unbelievable.
All right. I only got a couple more questions for you. First one, you're talking Wemby, 16. Now he's in the NBA. I kind of look at these guys who play in TBT and I think if the money was there, they could be eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th guys in the NBA for sure, ability wise. But sometimes you're able to go get a better contract and be the number one option in the Euro League or in China or wherever it is. So, my question to you, do you think if given the opportunity, you could contribute on an NBA team right now?
I do. I think I like. Obviously, I have my faults. I'm not the most athletic guy in certain people's eyes and stuff like that. I think my ability to space the floor could be valued. Um, I think the biggest thing is defense. Like you got to switch 1 through 5, and like we switch over here too. But it's just like you have way more help over here. Defense is closed, and there's no defense at 3 seconds. It's like, dude, you get put on an island with Dame Lillard, like yeah, or any NBA point guard, Donovan Mitchell, any of these guys, or Tatum, Luka Doncic, like you're gonna look silly. And I think that's been my biggest thing is like offensively, I think I could space the floor, be an energy guy, crash the glass, get a couple rebounds, dive on the floor, do that stuff. They're not gonna pay you $300 million to go be the number one option on a team. I think they're gonna give you money to, be a good teammate, be a good locker room guy, good PR guy, things that I think that I could really contribute in that aspect. And then just space the floor, like shoot open ones and just like be a good teammate, set good screens, talk. Like if you ever watch any of those mic'd up videos, LeBron talks and he's 40 years old. He's the loudest guy in the gym. And I try to do that everywhere I go. So I think do I think the number one guy? Absolutely not. But I definitely think if I was given an opportunity like that, I could definitely space the floor and knock down threes. I think as a pro, I'm in like maybe 41% or 42% from three. So very confident in that ability. I put a lot of work and a lot of time into it.
Definitely saw during TBT last year the work that you've put in. I mean, if people, especially Kentucky fans, somehow didn't know the name Nate Sestina before TBT 2024, they definitely know it now, and it was fun to watch. Two final questions for you. First one, I spent about 2 weeks in Lexington. What is like the food in Lexington? Like, what do you have to try? What do you have to do? Because I was so busy with all the games and we are driving to and from with Louisville. Like, I didn't get to really do the Lexington stuff. What is like the number one food you have to eat and the number one thing you have to do in Lexington?
Definitely got to do a bourbon tour. I think like as corny as it sounds, like it's like going to Napa Valley. Like you're gonna have to go taste wine. I think uh got to do a bourbon tour. Um, like if you want to go to a restaurant, like Carson's Brunch, top top tier. If you're looking for like some quick food, local taco for me is good. Everybody goes agave on rye. I've
Oh, I went
personally
there.
never been there, so I can't speak on it. Um, I do love local taco. That was my go-to when I was at Kentucky. Um, Deviate is a good brunch place, but Carson's Brunch for sure. And then my favorite place is Tony's Steakhouse.
Okay. We went to a few places. I'm blanking on the name right now, but there was this one really good place that we went a few times. It was like nice, but it wasn't too nice. And they had everyone's names on the wall and like signatures. Twani had his name on the wall there. Oh, I'm blanking on the name. Maybe you start with a B. I don't remember. But it was good. And there was multiple locations. I'll have to look.
Yeah, and let me know because maybe I've been there.
But then the other thing is, I feel like the number one thing you have to do is probably go to a Kentucky basketball game. And I
Oh, for
went
sure.
to I went to three of them. I felt like obviously it
Yeah,
wasn't, University of Kentucky, but it was freaking Eric Bledsoe, Willie Cauley Stein, Nate Sestina, and Harrison twins playing it rough. That's a Kentucky game.
there was it was. Oh my gosh, dude, it was insane, and the opportunity to play it up again was something that I didn't want to pass up on. And I think the other thing, if you want to go to a Kentucky game, I know of a good one on November 9th. My two schools are clashing, Bucknell and Kentucky. Unfortunately, I can't be there, but I think my parents are going to make the trip from Emporium, Pennsylvania down to watch it.
Well, you mentioned Bucknell. Last question I have for you. Who has had the better post Bucknell career? And this extends to not just basketball, you or Jimmy Sotos?
Ah, Jimmy, man. Jimmy is a freaking. He is a hell of a player too. I don't know. I mean, Jimmy's probably doing very, very well for himself. He has the personality for entertainment and social media and all that stuff. He's definitely not shy of cameras. Uh, I mean, basketball wise, I'm still playing. I'm very grateful
Yeah.
for that. I think Jimmy had an injury or something that kind of messed with him a little bit. That like messed with his career a little bit. That was kind of hard to come back from. But I don't know. I hope I always make the joke. As long as Jimmy, the lights are on and there's food in his fridge, that's all I care about for my guys. So as long as the bills are paid, that's all you can ask for.
In a different world, there's no COVID, and you and Jimmy stay at Bucknell, and that's a Final Four team that next year.
Hey, that we they're that was a very, very good team. Andrew Funk, who's actually in the G League right now, blossomed into an unbelievable player. And he was a big, big part of it too. And Walter Ellis, who was on Heartfire when they won it.
Low key, a Bucknell TBT team would be like really good with you and Funk and Jimmy if he could play. I'm
Maybe
sure
we can
there's,
get Mike Muscala.
yeah.
Maybe.
Think about that. That's actually, I
Don't
mean,
tell the Kentucky guys
yeah, the
though,
Kentucky
because
guys are going to hate us, but
yeah. But no, just an awesome, awesome opportunity. The Bucknell guys could put together a good squad.
all right, Nate, anything else from you? Usually I ask if you have any questions for me. Now is the time to do it.
I mean, just I not even a question, more of a statement. I'm very grateful that you guys have put so much time and effort into this TBT. Like when it first started, I remember watching Overseas Elite win it all the time, and some of the guys that are on that team I got to play against as a pro, which was really cool. And just keep doing it. Like basketball in the summer, especially like during an Olympic year, like we got to watch basketball the whole summer, and then on non-Olympic years, like you miss out, and then in July it's like summer league for a little bit, and then the like the TBT. So that's something that I'm very grateful for the opportunity to play in it. And you guys put on an unbelievable thing.
Well, you guys are the stars of the show, obviously. I do think last year, though, there was a couple games, you might have even played in one where it was like, and coming up next on FS1 or on Fox, LeBron James and Steph Curry take on like Serbia in an exhibition game. So
Yeah.
that was pretty cool last year that there was like LeBron and Steph ads during TBT games, and then during Olympic games there was like Nate Sestina and Russ Smith ads.
Russ Smith, he that pump fake is nasty.
Yeah.
And I need to try his bourbon as well.
Yeah, he's got good. I got a bottle of it right here. I'd show it to you. He's got a good bourbon, but that's a good thing to remember for you too. If you ever want to really get me on your side for TBT, send me something. Russ sent me bourbon. Gotta
All
gotta
right,
play the podcast PR game.
I got you. I'll see what I can do.
All right, man. This has been great. Appreciate you coming on. Hope you have a good rest of the season. Hope to see you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.